Monroe Stoll. I'm from Stowe, Ohio. And you're listening to Barbecue Central.
Start the game! Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening, and welcome to the really big Barbecue Central show. This is the show that talks about all things that are important in the world of barbecue and grilling. The show originating from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, Bomb City, USA, Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evenings, a live fire, fun, and frivolity show. If you would like to get in contact with the show this evening, or you would like to follow the show during off-show hours, here's how you do all that.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at bbqcentralshow.com. Follow us on all the social media channels at BBQ Central Show. And be sure to subscribe to the show podcast feed on your favorite podcast platform.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you get the newsletter. Coming up in about 12 minutes from now, a first-time guest. Somebody who is in business has also got into the live fire business. We'll learn all about how the big brand came to be and then how these live fire entities came to be. One of them growing in popularity. I see it all around social media these days. The creator of Tribal Fire Grill and the Game Changer Smoker, or the Game Change Smoker, one of those two. Aaron Norris joins the show. We'll talk to Aaron about all that. Looking forward to that conversation. Then 35 past the first hour, also another first-time guest, somebody who is into cooking outside, somebody who is into an animal-based diet, hence her Instagram handle and where she sees quite an extraordinary amount of fame and followers. Her name is Lindsay. Ooh, I hate to say that I might get this last name wrong, and we'll get clarification in the second segment, but I believe it's Lindsay DeAguila, but you might know her as Based Bae, B-A-E, for the hipsters. So we'll talk to her about how she got into the animal-based eating diet, what she likes about it. More importantly, what she's cooking outside. Maybe she's got a host of grills. Maybe she only likes one grill. Maybe we won't even ask her about grills. Who knows? Turn in 35 past the first hour. Learn all about Lindsay, the animal-based Bae, and give her a follow on Instagram. Some of you pervs will definitely like that. And then we will move to the second hour because it's the first Tuesday of a month. That can only mean one thing. What is that, you say? The revisitation of the Embedded Correspondents. Oh, my God, it's going to be great. We have a full, dare I say, replete list of 100% Assurity questions. As I was telling one of my colleagues at lunch this afternoon, I'm saying Assurity to your face, knowing full well that there is not one time in the English dictionary that you will find the word Assurity. We have made it up here on the show, and by God, we are running with it. And if you don't like it,
Great. I don't give a fuck.
that's right, Jess. We don't. You say it. I'm not going to say that, but you say it. Who knew that was going to be a sound drop? That should be the poll question of the week that we'll get to here in just a second. Who thought that was going to be a sound drop that lives on the soundboard? As soon as I heard it, I knew it was going to be there, and now it lives there. Anyway, second hour, Embedded Correspondents, replete list, as I'd mentioned earlier, of Assurity Questions and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So Aaron, Lindsay in the first hour, Embedded Correspondents in the second hour. By the way, that's Aaron, Lindsay, my guests in the first hour, and then Embedded Correspondents second hour. Don't forget you can follow me socially, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snappy Snaps, and the LinkedIns, all with the handle at BBQ Central Show. We say good evening to those of you watching the show tonight through one of the video streaming platform partners, Facebook.com/BBQ Central Show or the Twitter.com/BBQ Central Show. Of course, on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. And we also have a new YouTube poll question of the week that will be asking everybody this. Have you tried the McDonald's Chicken Big Mac? And currently 79% of you are saying no. I'm shocked it's that high of a no. I'm also heartened a little bit by that. Like, are you regular McDonald's eaters and you just don't want to venture into the Chicken Big Mac? Or you're just not McDonald's eaters or fast food eaters like myself? Rarely are you. There has to be a lot going wrong for me to then voluntarily go fast food. Results of the poll question from last week is a time to boot Meathead off the show. 2 no-shows is too many. 66% of you said indeed no. So where I was going to start here tonight a few weeks ago, I'm actually going to start somewhere completely different. Because tonight is September 22nd, and September 22nd might not mean anything. I mean, October 22nd, of course. And October 22nd might not mean anything to you, but it means a great deal to me. Is it my wife's birthday? Yes, it is. Is it my wife's 50th birthday? Yes, it is. Am I a gentleman for giving that up? Always debatable. But what makes this birthday most important and most special to me, and a birthday because it's just happenstance, that it's 50 years old. But the reason that it means the most to me, and while I'll never forget it, is because we're getting on 2 years now. But let's say sometime, this coming January, February, when my wife finds out that she had cancer in her abdomen, had 8 feet of her large intestine taken out, subsequently going down to Texas for those scans, and then seeing that it had metastasized to her liver. The reason that this birthday is so special to me is because this was supposed to be the first birthday that I was not going to have a wife. Her time was going to be up by now, according to the doctors initially. So this one will always be more important to me than any other birthday that comes after this, because there was a definitive period in my life where somebody told me what could happen. That doesn't usually happen for me. I usually make it happen on my own, or my wife and I make it happen as a team, but getting information that might otherwise change your mind and you have nothing to do with it, and not only change your mind, change your life. This was the birthday, for all intent, was not supposed to happen. So I can only tell you, if you're faced with something similar or the exact same or along the lines, in this healthcare world, this isn't a political thing. You have to be working with people that are knowledgeable, that are healthcare smart, literate, healthcare literate. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to second guess everything. You have to question everything, and you have to make alternative arrangements if you don't like the information that you're getting. And we did all of those things. My wife works in healthcare, so she is healthcare literate. And we advocated and questioned everything. And luckily today, cancer-free. Every day lived with gratitude. Every day seen in a little bit different light because it could have been completely different. So today, my love, Rebecca Bell, Rempy, happy 50th birthday. And you proved them wrong once again. You did it. So this is why this one is my most favorite birthday ever. So Aaron Norris will be showing up here, perhaps in a minute or two. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Wonder why my chat box is not showing up. Oh, there we go. Oh, I gotta pick it. There we go. Give me a second. I'll get there. All right, so here we go. It's Schwank Grill time. You don't know what Schwank looks like? Well, there's some food that Schwank is giving you. It's the grill everybody's talking about, let's be honest. You're probably seeing it a lot on social media as well. They've been hitting it hard. They've been hitting it with a lot of social media folks. It's the Schwank Grill. What do we know? Heats up to 1,500 degrees using infrared burner technology. What does that mean to you? You can cook steaks, depending on thickness, in little as 3 to 4 minutes. No more wasting your life cooking proteins you want. Schwank does it quickly with great results. The infrared burner technology, the same technology used by the world's best steakhouses, including Morton's, Del Frisco's, Cut 432, just to name a few off the top of my head. And they're using the same burner technology that is in the Schwank Grill. This isn't something akin to it. It's the same. And remember, at 1,500 degrees, regardless of what you're cooking, if you want to build that delicious crust, the Maillard reaction, you can do it right there very easily without overcooking. Everything stays juicy, flavorful. Nothing like it on the market today. Some are calling it the future of grilling. But the Centralites love a deal. They want to save money. Let's do that. Go to schwankgrill.com, SCHWANK grills.com. Use promo code BBQ Central at checkout. You can save $150 off a Schwank Grill. That easy to save money. Enjoy the restaurant quality heat. There's a link in the show notes. Also, the weekly newsletter. You can also go to the homepage. Click on the link there. Schwank Grills. Promo code BBQ Central. We are back with Aaron Norris of Tribal Fire Grills right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Broadcasting live from the BBQ Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by cookandpellets.com, your number one source for quality wood pellets for all your pellet-driven cookers. Visit cookandpellets.com to see their products, and then go to amazon.com or walmart.com or lowes.com to purchase. Same great products, even better shipping rates, as told to me by the great folks over at cookandpellets.com. Gang, do you like open fire cooking? Of course you do. Do you like flat top cooking? Yes. Do you like units that combine both? into a singular / modular piece? If the answer is yes, and I know that it is, then you're going to want to stick around for the next 20 minutes as we welcome in first-time guest and the owner of Tribal Fire Grill. We are welcoming our new friend, Aaron Norris, to the show. Aaron, how are you, pal?
Hey, I'm doing great. Good evening, Greg.
Aaron, before we get going here tonight, we have a YouTube poll question of the week that we are asking everybody, including all guests. So we're asking everybody this question. Have you tried the McDonald's Chicken Big Mac, yes or no?
Oh, that would be no. I just learned about that yesterday.
Right.
So I got to get a chance to get to a McDonald's and try it.
All right. Well, it's a no for now. By the way, 84% of the YouTube voting public aligning with you. So I don't know if they're more in your case of not really knowing about it, but I've been seeing it for at least a week or so. It has not tickled my fancy. I'm not a big fast food guy anyway, but I don't know. McDonald's Chicken Big Mac, if I'm going to eat a Big Mac, it's going to be a real Big Mac. It's not going to be a Chicken Big Mac. And even then, it's probably only like a 5% chance. So,
yeah.
Nevertheless, first time on the show, so appreciate you making the time.
Yep.
Little
Thank
background about you professionally, where you might be stationed across the great globe of ours, and then we can dig into Tribal Fire a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you. Once again, my name's Aaron Norris. I own Norris Thermal Technologies. We're here in Indiana. We are a small family manufacturer, and we've been around since my father started the business in 1965. So just a couple years.
Yeah.
And in recent years, I've taken over the business and kind of put my imprint on the business with some new product lines. We have been dedicated to building industrial dryers for food and feed for many years. And in recent years, we've got these new product lines, namely Tribal Fire Grill and Game Changer Smoker, as a kind of diversifying what we are able to do here, but fits within our goal of providing thermal type equipment for food products.
I was going to ask you how you tie in a Tribal Fire Grill like you have. Is it similar? Forgive my ignorance, but is it similar machinery or molding tooling or something like this, or are you opening new facilities and incorporating all of that?
So what we are doing, our knowledge base is thermal heat transfer. And so we've just taken it from an industrial down to a commercial and down to a residential type product. So just one thing led to another. We developed the Game Changer Smoker, looking to produce small dehydrators. And then one thing led to another that we started adding a smoke generator to it, and decided it would fit well into a commercial kitchen environment. From there, the Tribal Fire Grill was just me being in the food smoking side of things. I wanted a griddle. I didn't want just gas. I really loved the charcoal open fire wood. There wasn't a lot on the market that combined both. So, having a fab shop, we just created our own.
In regards to the Game Changer Smoker, what kind of application is this best suited for? And I guess let me back it out for a second and ask a different question first before I ask that question.
Okay.
I guess. You say you started out as a dehydrator. So how big of a change, or what changes do you have to make to take it from being dehydrator to a smoker or a barbecue?
Well, yeah, really, it turns into a convection oven is what it is. And we have a patent on a smoke generator utilizing wood pellets. So it's called a Game Changer for a reason, because what we have done is we have broken down the science of smoking, and we've separated the heat from the smoking. And what that's allowed us to do is it allowed us to deliver consistency. It allows the chef to be creative, because now we can either cold smoke, hot smoke, or turn the smoke off and dehydrate, because we have convection fans and electric heat. So separating the smoke generating from the heating of the machine allows us to accomplish a myriad of different results that the chef can. He can cold smoke cheese. He can cold smoke his creams, or he can do traditional barbecue, cold smoke steaks, or take fruit, leftover fruit, and so it doesn't go to waste, and dehydrate it for cocktails or other types of applications. And so it's got that ability to give the chef a lot of creativity. So we're going right into commercial kitchens and applying it there. It's about the size of a double door refrigerator. It's on casters, so it's very, very mobile. That's one of the things we wanted to be able to do. We wanted to fit a commercial kitchen well. And really all it needs is a 220 volt, 30 amp plug, plugs it into the wall. We do not even require to be under a hood because it's a non-flame system. We're just smoking the pellets, and at the end, they look like a piece of charcoal. They go into a water pan. And really what that is biochar, and it is a sustainable plant food source that you can put in your horticulture. And so with that, we're only using like 1.25 cups of pellets an hour. So it's a real low pellet consumption because we're only smoking. We're not using the pellets to heat. And then it's only a 30 amp plug. So it's very low utilities. So it's very efficient for the commercial kitchen as well.
The first thing that's jumping into my head here, and you're obviously way ahead of this one, is that home indoor smoker that GE came out with earlier in the year where you're filling it with pellets. Now, they do go out of their way to say that the smoke is going through some kind of a filtration or a scrubbing process, and then heat is kicked out from the back. So similar to yours then?
So what that is, they're utilizing a catalyst to eliminate the smoke. We still need to evacuate the smoke out of the smoker so we can be adjacent to the hood. We don't have to be under the hood. Think about a hood could cost you $2,000-$3,000 a foot. So this is saving the kitchen money. And we can just through a flex duct evacuate that smoke into the hood and out of the kitchen. So it saves them money while not needing a fire suppression or expensive hood space.
Any barbecue restaurants that we have heard of that are using the Game Changer smoker?
Yeah, we have several. We've got one, believe it or not, one of the most famous ones, not traditional barbecue, High-Low Taco in Philly. And we've got on YouTube, if you subscribe to Game Changer Smoker, at Game Changer Smoker, you'll see our episode of called Trippin' in the Kitchen, where we're at High-Low Taco in Philadelphia, Lucius Q in Cincinnati, and then we got Pig Star in the Nashville airport, which is Peg Leg Porker there in Nashville, which is a well-known brand, and they are in the Nashville airport.
Where would you like to see it in 5 or 10 years? If so, a lot of people are going to listen to this and they're going to think concept great. I want to get my hands on one. It's obviously a little out of the range for backyard folks. Maybe not all backyard folks, but do you see going into the backyard at some point?
Yeah, I do see us having, we're definitely business oriented, but I'm going to tell you what, if you're a guy that likes barbecue and you want the coolest smoker on the block, you ought to check it out. I mean, because you would be the cool guy on the block. I mean, it's a game changer, right? But I really want to see us have some franchising models. I think we are entering into that space really quick. I think we're going to see a lot of sports stadiums. Right now, there's a lot of universities that are running it. There's a lot of amusement parks, K through 12 schools. A lot of K through 12 schools are starting to jump on this. So, we're seeing, there's millions and millions of servings a day at all these types of entities. And I want to see Game Changer delivering consistent quality smoke flavor to all these types of facilities that you as a consumer are frequenting every day for lunch and dinner and so forth.
The other side of this is the tribal fire grill. So it's wood, it's charcoal, it's everything that us barbecue lovers have come to know and love. We've accepted more electric stuff along, over the years too, and some of this. So Game Changer fits in there. But as far as the tribal is concerned, you said that was a bit of a passion of yours, so you're making this cooker. When you were perusing the current marketplace, what did you see that you liked, and what did you see that you could improve upon?
Well, I saw some models out there that were some brands out there that were utilizing wood, charcoal on a griddle, but they were very expensive, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And I wanted to build a high quality, once again, built in my factory in the USA, just like the Game Changer Tribal Fire, built right in my factory, high quality materials, American made, ingenuity, craftsmanship. And I wanted a mid-range priced grill, and so that's what we set off to do. And I think we are accomplishing that well, very well. So, you see the low end, it's imported grills. Do not want to go there. I have no desire to go down those roads, and I think there's a real case for well-built USA built. Long lasting, you're going to pass it down to your kids type of grill. So that's where I saw some lack in that space, but we did see a few top end guys out there.
So the one that jumps right off the top of my head is a brand called Art Flame. I don't even know if that's still around. I had one in my backyard many years ago. And so it was certainly a conversation piece.
Yes.
In the end, real talk here, I used it twice a year. I used it Memorial Day. I used it Labor Day. It seemed highly inefficient. It was very smoky, no matter how I was trying to modify it. So how does yours work compared to that?
Yeah. You got to manage the air. So coming from the business with, once again, incorporating our knowledge of convection, of air, helped us then design the grill for proper air management. And that's what was lacking in what you were seeing, because it was improper burn. It didn't heat well. It consumed a lot of wood or charcoal. So you have to have proper air management, like we all know, and a good smoker and a good grill has that built into it. So we put in the proper venting to allow the air movement and the proper burn within our grill. So that's a big change. I also wanted it, and a lot of people have said this to me, and I really believe it, and I start building it into it, is a lot of people call it kind of the Swiss Army knife of grills. We wanted a lot of accessories. So we have a patent on it for the griddle top, wood fired, but with the rods and the swing grates to go over the flame. So we wanted to have these accessories so we could have different ways of cooking, or different ways of holding the food hot, or add grill grates, or add a hotel pin. Maybe your queso goes into that. You can be cooking your queso, or you can have surf and turf over the flame. You're boiling your pot of seafood while you're grilling your steaks on the flat top surface. So we wanted different ways of cooking. And so that has been kind of an integral part of how we designed the Tribal Fire Grill.
How long has it been out?
So we started it in 2020. Kind of a funny story right there in as COVID was coming on, and I wanted to build a grill that I felt like I wanted us to communal grill, build relations around it. And that's why our design is circular in nature, right? So you can have your kid on one side, or husband and wife or friends around it, gather, enjoying the cooking process and building relationships. So it was a kind of a communal grill. Well, of course, I would be the one that would build a communal grill right in the middle of the COVID era, right? So at first I was like, oh no, is this going to be like the Nova of grills here? But it was actually a blessing. People during that time, and we all know how they went to grilling on the patio. So it really was able to kind of start to build a name and a brand, even in that era, even though it was a communal grill. That's kind of how it got its roots and start. So in 2020 we did start this, and we're looking at kind of a relaunch this year. We've put a lot of time and effort in some new designs. We're coming out with a new gas unit with a infrared technology, a VT burner, which is a very high efficient burner that, as we know, infrared does a good job of heating surfaces. And so we have a griddle, and we got a infrared burner that we're heating the plate in a very efficient manner. And so I think we're only the ones that are using this VT technology. If you go to vtburner.com, you can kind of check out this technology. It's really cool. And like I said, very, very efficient. So we're implementing that into the grills. So we'll have a secondary line of gas fired tribal fire grills. We have our small, more portable model, the mini, and then we have our full size tribal fire grill. And so that's kind of where we're heading here this next year.
If Weber or Traeger came knocking on Aaron Norris's door and said, Aaron, you are doing a bang-up job, what's the check number to get you to sell it to us? Is that something you would entertain, or do you like doing this?
Well, as a businessman, you listen to everything, right? You never say no to anything, but I'm going to tell you what, I'm having fun what I'm doing. I love the Game Changer. I love the Tribal Fire Grill. I love our other products as well. I mean, these are part of my family history.
Yeah.
But Tribal Fire Grill, Game Changer, they got my fingerprint on it. And I'm just getting going at this. I've got a long ways to go. I want to build it. I want to build it big. And I think it's on its way. And maybe some other day we'll entertain that. I've got some sons coming up behind me. You know, I think they may be interested in it. So, and if not, then hey, we'll pick up the phone and we'll talk.
What's your favorite thing to cook on the Tribal Fire Grill?
Hands down, steak. I mean, we're in the SCA world. We're competing all the time. I can't, a good ribeye steak is just my favorite. I mean, followed quickly by, a good smash burger, right? I mean, and I love to, heat some queso over it as well. But ribeye steak and a smash burger, you just can't beat that.
Communal grills are certainly something that I'm on the lookout for as we progress here into 2025, as 2024 rapidly coming to a close. We're talking with Aaron Norris here, Tribal Fire Grills, the website tribalfiregrills.com. If you go there, you can also link to the other stuff that we've been talking about here during this segment too. Find them on Instagram, Tribal Fire Grill. Aaron, appreciate the time here this evening and continued success.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it. It's Aaron Norris right there. Go ahead and hit the website up if you aren't familiar. Like I said, I've been hearing about it and then got a nice email from somebody probably handling a little bit of the marketing or the PR and said, would you like to have Aaron on? And at that point, I said, yes. The show has always been about bringing on new cookers and new businesses. Certainly it's not new. That Game Changer's been around for quite a while, but Tribal Fire has been gaining a lot of heat, no pun intended. So let's bring it on. Let's showcase it. And if you're in the market, holidays are coming, all that fun stuff, then why not take a look at it and see if it's something that might fit in your backyard or might also give you some nice accessory in the backyard. And again, if you're in the commercial space and you were entertained by what Aaron was talking about on the Game Changer smoker, doesn't have to be under a hood. I had no idea that a commercial hood ran $2,000 or $3,000 a foot. Just another reason you're never going to find me in the restaurant space. Holy crap. I think I need to get into the commercial hood business. Anyway, thanks to Aaron Norris, Tribal Fire Grill's Game Changer smoker. We have Lindsay DeAguila coming up next, Animal Based Bae. But first, I have this question for you. Are you tired of settling for mediocre grilling experiences? It's time to step your game up and bring the ultimate flavor and cooker to the backyard barbecues. Pits and Spits charcoal grills, offering the highest quality live fire cooking experience you can get in the market today. Using either wood or charcoal, their solid fuel grills produce those classic flavors you're looking for when you have the time to fire up the grill and cook for family and friends. With a large adjustable fuel tray, you can raise and lower the fire to control and fine-tune that heat. Their take on the very popular Santa Maria style grill. Check them out online, pitandspits.com. You can also use promo code BBQ Central if you're looking to save $150 off any charcoal grill. Now, you can also grab the Pits and Spits griddle. The gas griddle combines the power of traditional grill with versatility of the flat top griddle, engineered with precision and craft from top quality materials. The versatility, or this versatile griddle is set to revolutionize your outdoor cooking experience. It's 304 marine grade stainless. The griddle comes with 4 burners to accurately manage your heat zones. And it'll get to a blistering hot with 80,000 degrees, or 80,000 BTUs. 80,000 degrees, whoa. It's made with the Pits and Spits signature quality. The griddle designed to last for generations. And, of course, that new built-in that we talked about last week as well. Head over to pitsandspits.com/BBQ Central Show and use promo code BBQ Central for free spice back with orders for over $500. Our friends over at Pits and Spits. We are back with the animal-based Bae. What does that even mean? Stick around and find out.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the BBQ Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Fireboard, makers of the Fireboard 2, Fireboard Pro, the Spark, the Beacon, and, of course, the new Fireboard Pulse. Don't forget, when you use the Fireboard app, you have total access to all your devices anywhere in the world. Fireboard.com, the website, or call with questions, 816-945-2232. My next guest tonight is on a health journey of sorts, a meat-based journey, and a journey that also involves outdoor cooking. Why not? You might already subscribe to her Instagram account. About 200,000 of you are already doing that. Happy to welcome in the first-time guest and the creator of the animal-based Bae brand. Lindsay, I'm going to ask for your clarification here because I'm kind of an idiot. Is it DeAguila?
DeAguila.
DeAguila. Damn it! That's what I was going to say.
That's okay. I
forgive
tried to do the phonetic spelling for you the other day, but
my phonetics is off, I guess. So I apologize. We have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests here this evening. So we'll lead with that. I have an idea where you might answer, given what you're up to. But have you tried the McDonald's Chicken Big Mac? Yes or no?
no, definitely not.
Definitely not. All right. I have to stop for 1 second.
Sure.
Can you do like the reconnection thing on the screen there? There should be like a little gear cog, and it'll show the microphone, and then just hit reconnect it, because I think I'm just getting your computer mic at the moment.
Got it. Okay. Let me just make sure that's on. Check. Okay. How about
Yep.
now?
I see it on, but did you do the reconnect thing?
Yeah. Is that better? Or no. Let me look at my sound settings.
Didn't even sound like it. Usually it even pauses when it tries to reconnect.
Input. Aha, I see what's happening here.
The internet bugs have once again infiltrated the
well,
Barbecue Central
actually,
show.
how about this?
Try
is that
the
working?
reconnect thing again real quick, and that'll probably take care of it. Oh. It appears. That's weird. Uh-oh. I see the frozen face. Oh, no. See, this is what happens when we do it live.
We'll do it live.
That's right, Bill.
Do it live.
We do it live.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
It's funny. As I had mentioned, I was at lunch with a colleague today, and she was asking about the show and how it's going. And she said, is it a podcast? Is it this? I said, yeah, it's live. And part of the discussion was, well, does anything ever go wrong? And in fact, Lindsay?
Are we? Yes.
Oh, you sound 100 times better. Great.
Okay, great. We did it, and I got an applause too. So
All right.
my, disclosure to my computer completely shut down right before I logged into this. So I'm like, great, it's perfect timing.
This is the way we do it. All right. This is why we do it live on the show.
We'll do it live.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know. So this is when you do it live. First time on the show, so appreciate you taking time here, Lindsay. So a little background
thanks for
on
having
you, what you do professionally, and then maybe where you might be stationed at.
Sure. Well, I guess I'll work backwards. Austin, Texas. All
All right. Barbecue capital of
Florence.
Texas, depending on who you're talking to. Those are fighting words,
That's
I know.
right. Exactly. So good place to be here, especially if you like meat. And then so what do I do for work is, I guess I have my hands in a lot of different things, but right now I'm working on a lot of education and social content on different platforms, from Instagram to YouTube to TikTok, and what else we got here? We got X, we've got, email and all these things.
Everything.
And so, yeah. And so I'm just, sharing the journey of animal-based eating and how it's done a really amazing things for my life and my health. And I've had a journey of just eating pretty much like fueling for performance my entire life. And then there's multiple layers to it of being diagnosed with celiac disease. And then, like being a personal trainer and taking people through fitness and health programs, and down to even like having my own food business. So very well aware of, not only from a macro level, but a micronutrient level as it relates to, food labels and ingredients and all of these different things. So I probably about 2 years ago, I started Based Bae on Instagram, and that kind of, it took off. And so then I just kept on sharing the journey of how basically, eating meat and dairy and fruit and honey and pretty much no vegetables for 4 years has really healed, my gut, my hormones, and my energy levels. I've felt the best I've ever felt, even as a more veggie-based eater, or, just even heavier carb eater. I wasn't really much into processed foods, just again, being an athlete since I was 5 and feeling for performance. So again, with all the whole foods and even cleanest diets that, I've tried, this is just the best I've felt.
Are blueberries okay to eat?
Yes, that's a fruit for sure. That is also up to you as well. Yeah, score, right? But definitely not the McDonald's that you asked me about.
No, I would never.
The fried chicken or whatever.
Look at me. Body's my temple, of course.
Yeah, but it's always about you too, right? If blueberries doesn't make you feel good, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how good it is for you, because
I feel like I would eat something
experience
that didn't taste good if it was good for me. I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I need to know that there's a benefit that's being derived from putting myself through potential discomfort.
For sure. I did that with tomatoes a long time ago. I hated them.
tomatoes?
I hated them so much. I know I don't like tomatoes, and I hated them so much. And I thought they were good for me. And then it turns out that, through my process of just discovering what foods worked for me and what didn't, I did tests such as like gut biome test and hair follicle samples for like different food allergies and non-food related allergies. And sure as heck, tomatoes come up. I'm like, yes, get rid of them.
Oh, so they weren't jiving with you.
Right.
Wow.
But furthermore, they're just to discover, them, containing lectins and being a nightshade, and that they could cause some gut disruption, and depending on, of course, with the sourcing, organic and not. So.
Wow. So you're really into it.
Yeah, for sure. So
when did you like?
I'm in.
So you were an athlete. You've mentioned the fueling for performance, so I get that. My oldest daughter was a pretty elite athlete, so she was always very keen on trying to fuel properly. But she's past that stage now, so I'm sure there was a point where you break away from maybe not being active, but getting out of the elite athlete mentality. You can be a little bit more human. So did you start eating normal and then realize I'm just not feeling good, or maybe you weren't getting the aesthetic that you like, and that's when you start digging down into what can I do to make that change?
Yeah, I mean, I think after I stopped competing, which was pretty much right after high school, then I started weight training. And, yeah, I was a little bit more vain back then, and that's what I ate right for, or rather, I was paying more attention to my macros, right? Your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. And so that's sort of when I started playing around with it. But literally a year later, I was diagnosed with celiac disease. And so I had to rediscover how to eat food from just a very like micronutrient sense, and also just even ingredients, start to read the ingredients like way more than just this is meat. It's like, okay, well, what is all this other crap that's in there too? And that's kind of what I advocate for too, is just to for intentional consumption, is just creating awareness around what each ingredient means, and where food is being sourced, and pesticides and glyphosate and all of that, and just to be aware, because I think we can all make our choices of what we want to eat, including the McDonald's fried chicken if we wanted to. I just want transparency. So
being animal based typically would lead to cooking outdoors. So are you somebody that has what we call multiple cooker syndrome, where you have a lot of different cookers outside, or are you really honed in on one? What's your deal?
Well, not yet. I will get there. However, yes, animal-based eating definitely has me putting a juicy steak on the grill 24/7. Well, I don't want to say 24/7. I'm going to say 2 times a day, breakfast.
2 times a day. Wow.
Dinner.
My kind of
yeah,
gal.
for
Love
sure.
it. Yeah.
I know, right? I eat meat every day, and I'm the healthiest I've been. Go figure, right? So I don't have multiple grills outside, not yet, because I'm one to just do a little bit more research on each grill that I get. So I have right now the Schwenk grill, which I absolutely love, and that grill is just the bomb. It heats up super quickly, and it cooks your meals super quickly, and you can't mess it up. It gives you restaurant grade, super high quality sear and even cooking and all of that. So because the other problem with different grills, I think, because this one's stainless steel, it's infrared, it's beautiful, right?
Oddly enough, Schwenk happens to be a sponsor of the show. So this is
all right.
Kismet that you happen to be a lover and supporter of Schwenk. But as someone who doesn't have one, I'm always anxious to hear what people like about them, or at least get their testimonial.
Oh, shoot. Well, yeah, I guess this is my testimonial for them for sure. And go figure, it aligns, right? Barbecue show, though, I have no doubt that they would be a part of this. But yeah, it's because regular grills from, charcoal grills or what have you tend to have, and me being just a health nut through and through, not just the food, but it's about what are we living in? What are we breathing in? What are we surrounding ourselves with? Like, consumption comes from all things except for just I'm sure you've seen on my Instagram, just like me eating organs or meats or things like that, grilled and raw too, right? But the consumption from everywhere, and so a lot of it has to do with the carcinogens, and so there's a lot of reduced smoke that comes from the Schwenk, so way less flare ups from that, and then a really non-reactive cooking non-reactive cooking surface, such as stainless steel, right? Otherwise you get metal grates, and then when heated to a certain temperature, then there's a toxic release of compounds and whatever. I can get super detailed on all of this, but there's a reason why I choose definitely the Schwenk to cook most of my meals. Most every meal on the Schwenk, 90% of my meals come from that. One, because I also get outside, because they taste good. The sear is amazing. It's super quick. And then the other reason too is if I'm cooking indoors, again, talking about toxic compounds and chemicals and all these things, your house is just like, it harbors all of these particles, and then people wonder why they have like dry hair, dry skin, and then like lung issues and sleep issues and all these things. Yeah, no.
What about no hair? What does that mean?
Maybe other stressors in your life. I'm not sure.
No, I'm chill. Believe me.
Yeah, right. No, hilarious. But yeah, those are just, I get a little weird with it, but I've also had plenty of years of experience of going down rabbit holes and then trying to come back out too.
When did you realize that social media, like you were getting traction? I mean, maybe it's, so you go on, you just want to share what you're experiencing, but inevitably the numbers start to tick up. And when do you realize that you have an audience that you can share to that is genuinely concerned and interested in what you're putting out?
Sure. I guess it was more, I had always been somewhat of, a teacher and an educator, whether that be through personal training, or I used to teach self-defense as well to women. And then, would also just being in the world of social media, it was almost like if you started a business, you had to have social media, you had to, have an account. And so I was always present on social platforms under different names. And those were nowhere near as successful at all, right? It was definitely a heavy lift to try to get any, like even one follower a day, right? So I feel like consistency has been just on my side of just showing up every day. And so regardless of what name that fell under. And so when Based Bae, I actually, like, funny story, I didn't want to do another account. I was like, that's it. I'm going off the grid. I'm done with social. And then just another like little short story within that, like I was convinced in ways like, no, you should give it a try, for my friends, like, let's do it. I'm like, fine, one more try, but otherwise I'm off of social media. And so sure as heck, this one just kind of stuck. And so it's not like, I don't know if there was really like one time where it happened and then it happened super quick. And then you just realize that this is something that people want, and not to have it just be all about what they want. And for us and for me to just like always hit that, hit that high of gaining followers. It was just, let me just continue to do what I've always been doing and show up every day and continue to share the message, but just from this angle. And that's just how that worked.
What do you have coming up here over the next couple weeks or a month? If like people around or they want to start getting interested, what can they look forward to?
Yes. So the holidays, right? That's always a little bit of a struggle. But I have holiday menus. Actually just made a wonderful animal-based meatloaf today. And so I'll have a holiday cookbook coming out for this year.
What is animal-based meatloaf? I mean, it's ground beef.
So yeah, it's a mixture of,
you put organ meat in that?
I did actually. So I put a pound of pork and then a pound of just a blend of organs and like ground beef in there too as well. And then some squash shavings and some cheese and eggs and things like that. However, you don't have to do the organs because, maybe you don't like it, but you could just do like half and half and just do ground beef. But it keeps it animal based, meaning essentially no veggies or no other, foods that could potentially cause any, inflammation or gut disruptions or all of that. Whatever. I have a guide. I have an animal-based guide that could certainly help you, grocery shop and share some ingredients and foods that are good.
All right. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah. If you aren't subscribed or if you're not following Based Bae on Instagram, it's that handle, 178,000 followers currently. Very impressive. Lindsay, really appreciate you coming on tonight and sharing some of your journey and story, and obviously getting that fortuitous testimonial there on the Schwank. Certainly appreciate that as well. And continued success.
Of course.
I'd love to have you back on again at some point in the future.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks so much for having me.
You got it.
See you next time.
It's Lindsay right there. The Animal-Based Bae. Twice a day cooking steak. Did you hear it? Come on, gang. Oofa. Twice a day. That's what I'm talking about. Can I have steak twice today?
Great. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I do. I want steak twice a day. Sound effect of the year. And it was just at the end, I imagine. There was a lot of new drops this year. Maybe I can make it to the end and get out on time. Primo grills. What do we love about them? Fuel efficient, yes. Slow and low temperatures, yes. High heat grilling, yes. Round, no. Game-changing oval design gives you the real ability to do true two-zone cooking. Best way to manage a fire and cook with confidence. However, getting a two-zone fire and a round ceramic cooker is not very realistic because it's round. That's why. I heard you ask why. You have a bunch of new accessories. The grill itself has been revamped over the last couple of years, too. So if you've seen an older version of a Primo, check it out again for the first time. Much cooler, much more user-friendly, and again, a huge amount of accessories. The bottom line is this. Are you getting the best ceramics in the biz? Yes. Is there patented technology? Of course. Do you have true two-zone cooking capabilities? I mentioned it a couple minutes ago. Multiple sizes in the oval? Oh, yes. But only sold through dealers. So find a dealer near you by visiting the website, primogrill.com. Find the dealer locator, and then visit them in person. Follow them on social media as well. We're back to wrap the first hour. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, we thank Lindsay DeAguila. Joe, was I right? DeAguila? I forgot from the beginning of the conversation. Oh, I'm such an idiot. She sent it to me phonetically, and I'm reading it one way. It's obviously another way. I'm very good at Spanish, too, by the way. For instance, trabajamos en las piscinas de la Navidad. Yes. ¿Qué hiciste este fin de semana? All Spanish. I'm very good at it. So I'm usually a much better reader than I am an orator of Espanol. Lindsay DeAguila. That's what I would normally say. Is it DeAguila? DeAguila? DeAguila. I think that might be it. Anyway, go ahead. Get over there. I said it 2 different times, Joe. Which one was perfect? The second one or the first? Don't even remember what I said the first time. Okay, is it number 1, DeAguila, or is it number 2, DeAguila? I think it's number 1, DeAguila. Hey. Anyway, if you're just tuning in, you are listening to me argue with myself about my Spanish. We mall. You sound like Chunk from Goonies. I don't even know what that means. Animal-Based Bae can be found on the Instagrams at the handle Animal-Based Bae, all one word. Number 1, DeAguila. I got it. Nailed it. Perfecto. Got that one. Don't forget, Tribal Fire Grills as well was in the first hour. We are getting ready to close out hour number 1. The Embedded Correspondents will no doubt be loading in here very quickly. and then an hour with them. We'll get an update on the poll next. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. We're here on the Barbecue Central Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This is Molly Storm from Stowe, Ohio, and you're listening to Barbecue Central.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me! Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude.
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 2 feet for wiener.
Oh, listen, Liberty, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now.
And just like that, we are into the second hour of the Barbecue Central Show is right here. If you missed the first hour, where have you been? We have one more week, and then the week after that, you go vote. And welcome to my nightmare. There's been a lot of political Tuesdays that really jack with my live listenership. And quite frankly, that political stuff needs to move to either Mondays or Wednesdays because I'm not moving off of Tuesdays. There were debates, other nonsense, now this voting. I mean, take a Tuesday off for crying out loud. Give me a break. I'm trying to eke out a living here. This show originating from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
Still to come on the show tonight, the Embedded Correspondents will be showing up in about 12 minutes from now. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of the video streaming platforms, Facebook.com/BBQ Central Show or YouTube, Twitter.com/BBQ Central Show or YouTube, which is YouTube.com/@BBQ Central Show. And we have a update on the YouTube poll question of the week. I just saw something in the comments that stirred me, and now I'm quickly looking to see. No. What about here? No. About here? No. To answer Josh Latch. Josh, I must have just taken it off. I do not have the Mo Cason ice crunch effect still in the soundboard. Is that good for you?
Great. I don't give a fuck.
All right, Josh, relax. That one is on the soundboard, and it's my new favorite right now. So the Embedded Correspondents will be joining us here shortly. We have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody. Have you tried the McDonald's Chicken Big Mac? And 84% of you are now saying no, you have not tried it. Again, I'm continued to be shocked that it is that far of a delta between oh, hell yes and hell nah to the nah. We'll see how the rest of the hour plays out. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less is coming Friday, episode 356, maybe 57, September 18th, 2018. So we're going back-to-back weeks with back-to-back. Let's try it again. Episode 356, taking you back to September 18th, 2018. Gearing up for the American Royal in 2024 by going back to 2018. Again, last week it was Darren Worth from Iowa Smoky D's. And this week, John is featuring old pal to the show, very successful competition cook, I believe an Oklahoma Barbecue Hall of Famer, definitely a great businessman and creator of barbecue-related products, our pal Dave Bosca from Butcher Barbecue. Talked to Dave about the invitational side first, then I talked to him about the open side. And at the very end, I asked him, hey, because of how well you did in the open, do you mind, since you're the creator of Butcher's Barbecue products, can we go through each individual meat category and you tell us the products that you used on your turn-ins? And then you will have to see if Dave answers those questions or not. I'm not going to ruin it all. I almost did, but I'm not going to ruin it. You have to subscribe to the podcast feed in order to get the best of show, and you can do that by visiting the website, thebbqcentralshow.com/subscribe. And don't forget, if you want to hear a past guest or segment again that you fear has been lost in the archives, which is now extensive, you can email John, let him know you'd like to hear, Jon, John, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com. Let him know you'd like to hear, and he'll do his best to meet your expectation. In the second hour, I bring you this, and let me start by saying, because the emails that poured in over the week were asking, when is it going to happen? And what I mean by this is the Jess Pryles, Greg Rempe podcast. As soon as she said it last week, I could hear fingers on keyboards feverishly typing out. And believe me, you did not disappoint. But I'm here to tell you this. I stand by my words from last week. If someone is going to ask me to do a podcast with them, I will always, allow me to rephrase that, always be hesitant to do it. Because unless you've done it at a high level, which I have done for years, and dare I say decades, you don't really know what's involved. Sounds like fun? Yeah. Sounds exciting? Of course. All of that. But how excited are you going to be in month 2 or month 9 or year 4? Probably not very.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Gang, I'm so far past year 4. I'm closer to year 25 than I am year 4. So not only am I here for it, I've been here for it. Everybody had their own podcast. I still had mine, and they've left, and I'm still here. So to hear Jess mention that she was thinking about doing a podcast last week, all that does is throw me red flags all over the place. What do you mean? No concept, no direction, no production. What's the vision for the show? What's going to be covered? Is it repeatable? Is it a short-term view or a long-term view? Is it a macro view or a micro view? The list goes on. By the way, the diva in this potential show relationship between Jess Pryles and Greg Rempe is not going to be Jess Pryles. It's going to be me. I have a standard to meet each week. I have a standard to meet each time I put out a show. That might not be so easy to work with. You, as my co-host, might have a different standard you're looking to bear. And if those standards don't match, you're out. Hit the bricks, pal, and beat it. So while I was more than flattered, believe me, more than flattered that Jess would even mention that, the bottom line is this. She hasn't said anything about it to me since. No surprise. She will have to chase it down. It won't be me. I won't ever mention it again. She will have to chase me down, and then she will have to convince me that this is something that she really wants to do. Not me. She wants to do. and what that would actually look like in real life. Because guess what? I will continue to remain honest with you more than anybody else. She got a way more of a thing going on with her life than I got going on mine.
Hey, everybody, can I trouble you for a
Oh, yeah. I mean, she does. Jess, you have way more going on with your life.
Great. I don't give a fuck.
Well, you should. Because it's a lot. I don't have near as much. She's going to be taping TV shows. I'm not. She's going to be doing radio hits at radio stations. I'm not. She's developing new spices, new trinkets, new recipes. Married to a very handsome man. I'm not. In a vacuum, that sounded really weird. All that to say, thank you for even the mention, but also no thank you to that mention, because I knew as soon as it happened, there was going to be an influx of emails asking when the first show was going to be. It wasn't going to be a matter of if, it was going to be a matter of when. And it is a matter of none of that at the moment. Again, am I open? Am I saying no to it? Not necessarily. Is there a lot of convincing that has to take place? Necessarily. Hey, the good news is my favorite embedded correspondents are already in the jock. Read into that what you will. Before we get to the embedded correspondence, I talked to you about Franklin Barbecue Pits. What you have with the Franklin Pit is a deeply thought out and refined version of the old propane-style tank cookers that Aaron built for his restaurant, Franklin Barbecue. Stylistically, it reflects the kind of bare-bones industrial handmade aesthetic that he loves, as in the patina and the way the build allows you to see the welds and the craftsmanship. Schematics of a Texas off-style barbecue pit, relatively simple, even if the things happening inside reflect complicated dynamics of physics and chemistry. The Franklin Barbecue Pit, primarily made of quarter-inch thick American-made steel. Anything that sees heat, engineered to be incredibly solid, should last at least a century or more if cared for properly. That's 100 years or more. The thickness of that steel guarantees professional-grade heat retention, a critical component to making great barbecue. Every Franklin Pit unique unto itself, which is to include their own natural markings and own badged number, all for you. If you, the listener of this show, want to own a Franklin Barbecue Pit, but you live in a part of the country that doesn't have a certified Franklin dealer nearby, you can visit the website franklinbbqpits.com and purchase a Franklin Pit. Franklin Pits will ship a Franklin Pit right to your driveway. If you, the listener of the show, own a fine barbecue specialty store and you would like to become a certified Franklin dealer, please visit franklinbbqpits.com and fill out the dealer form. Either way, you're a winner. franklinbbqpits.com. That's franklinbbqpits.com. I believe I can say it now. Longtime sponsor of the show, Aaron, Stacy, Franklin, and all the gang out there. Appreciate the support. We hope we're moving those premium offset pits, generating that revenue everybody wants. All right, we're back with the embedded correspondence right after this. Stick around.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet. Currently available in 3 sizes with a host of accessories to complete your pit barrel cooking experience. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. Still trying to chase down either Amber or Noah, but we'll continue to do that. It is the 4th Tuesday of a month, and you know what that means in the second hour. It's the reemergence of our pals, the Embedded Correspondents, and there they are in fine fashion. You have Doug Scheiding just to the right of me and John Solberg just to the right of Doug, and directly below me from the great city of Utah is Rusty Monson and Matt Osman from the grand state of Tennessee, catty corner to the bottom of me, just left of the logo. So, guys, appreciate you joining me here as we get ready to close out October. And Doug is wearing a potentially illegal shirt, I think. I don't know if we're allowed to wear that or not, but we'll check with lawyers during the break and make sure you don't got to disrobe there. We have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody first before we get into Assurity Questions. See where everybody matches up here. The question, of course, is have you tried the McDonald's Chicken Big Mac, yes or no? Matt Osman.
No.
Rusty?
Yeah, I've had 3 so far.
Yes, you have. John
Oh,
Solberg,
Jesus.
yes or no?
Yes, I have tried it.
And Douglas, yes or no?
Ain't nobody got time for that. No.
Oh, right. So 85% of the YouTube voting public is lining up with Matt and Doug and myself, and 15% have aligned with Rusty and John. I believe it just ticked to 18%. I believe Rusty's got to be 16% of the 18% with eating 3 chicken Big Macs. I don't know if I care to know any more than this, but okay, Rusty, you've had 3. I'm assuming it's redeeming enough to go back for the second and the third one. So give me your hot take on the chicken Big Mac.
To be honest, I just found myself at McDonald's and it was the only option, and it's probably the best thing on the menu right now.
It's the only option at McDonald's?
Yeah, like good example. Coming back from Vegas, the Wendy's was packed off the exit I was, and there was a McDonald's. So I went there, and the best
but they
option
have
was
50 other things to eat at McDonald's besides chicken Big Mac.
Yes, but the chicken Big Mac is the best one.
You choose a chicken Big Mac over regular Big Mac?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's chicken.
Over the Filet-O-Fish?
Yeah,
Matt, I'm asking questions. You raise your hand. I'll bring you into the conversation. I'm grilling Rusty, no pun intended. So chicken Big Mac is better than the regular Big Mac because, in your words, it's chicken. But it seems to be a different chicken than the other chickens that are available at McDonald's.
Imagine, if you will, a chicken McNugget on a sandwich, and then you take that and you double the chicken McNugget sandwich and put it into a sandwich. And that's probably one of the best things I've ever come up with, except for the McRib.
Yeah, I was going to say McRib. So are you worried that they're going to snatch this in a month's time and it's going to be a re-release every year?
Maybe. Could you imagine a Big Mac rib? Big McRib? That'd be really good.
I feel like I would maybe want to try that more than the chicken Big Mac. John, you've also had the chicken Big Mac. Did you find it edible?
I'll say it's edible. And here, if I could leave it in just a few words, it is the biggest fucking fast food sandwich by mass and weight that has ever existed on the fucking planet, good or bad.
Wow.
That fucker it is so fucking big. It's just big. Rusty, I think you'll agree. It's a massive, massive, heavy sandwich. It's not off-putting in taste. It's not the greatest thing ever. Do I prefer it over a regular Big Mac? Probably not. But oh my God, is it fucking massive, man. It's just big.
It's got to be. I've never heard John cram so many F words inside of 45 seconds than he did just now. So, I mean, that's saying something. Doug, are you motivated to try it now after hearing the revere from Rusty and then I don't know if it was a positive or, I mean, it wasn't a negative, but I wasn't overwhelmingly motivated by John, but he didn't say don't try it necessarily. So you going to try it?
No, I love the F-bombs, but I'm not into quantity over quality,
Yeah.
So the F-bombs were enticing. And John, that's, by the way, that's what she said.
Matt, you going to try
McDonald's. There's nothing quality there, period, Doug. Come on.
The fries. That's the only thing, the fries.
Well, look, we're getting off the rails here. I got to rein us in. Matt, you going to try the chicken Big Mac now that you've heard Rusty and John?
Not a snowball chance in hell. No.
Not a snowball's chance. Wow, very, very anti-positive. So that doesn't sit well with Rusty. All right, we have a full complement of 100% Assurity questions. So we will start here tonight. Let's start with Dougie from Texas, longest-running embedded correspondent. You have seen at least one episode of Jess Pryle's new TV show, Hardcore Carnivore.
Nope, not yet, but I will.
Because you're busy, or you just forget that it's on that night and it's DVR'd, or what?
Yeah, I'm busier than F, like John would say. And I'm in the process of kicking DirecTV out and switching to YouTube. And then I heard it's only on Apple, and I'm like, oh brother, I wonder if it's on YouTube TV. But anyway, so yeah, I've got a jihad against DirecTV right now.
All right. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. You've seen at least one episode of Jess Pryle's new TV show, Hardcore Carnivore.
100% no. No outdoor.
If you had it, would you watch it?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So we'll take that as a yes. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You've seen at least one episode of Jess Pryle's new TV show, Hardcore Carnivore.
Not yet, but I will.
Interesting. John?
No, I've never seen it.
I think Rusty's motivated to see it. John, is this retirement home stuff along with Barbecue Pitmasters and all the other stuff, or even not even that?
Not even. No.
Wow.
Thank you. Next.
Double. Rusty, are you going to find time to get it, or what?
Yeah, man. Jess Pryle's is badass, so for sure. I think it's going to be a good watch. I can't wait.
Let's go to John. 100% yes or 100% no. John. Oh, me?
Have you seen it in the last week or not?
No, of course not. Again, I don't watch TV, so I was being honest. I know she doesn't listen to podcasts, so I would never ask her, do you listen to this show? Because why would I want to get my heart broke? So I was hoping she wasn't going to ask me. But she did, so I got to lay down the truth, and I have not watched it. If I stumble across it, I'll absolutely watch it. I agree with Rusty. She's badass. And we'll go from there. John, you care about the KCBS barbecue, the KCBS Hall of Fame.
Actually, yeah, I do. I'm very intrigued by it, and I do care.
Rusty, you care about the KCBS Hall of Fame.
Hold on. I'm recovering from John's answer. I've never been so shocked in my entire life.
John is blowing up the first 5 minutes of the segment here. It's going all John's way. I can tell you that.
Well, tingly. Yeah, I think it's awesome. I love it. As many of these we can get, let's do it.
Doug, 100% yes or 100% no. You care about the KCBS Hall of Fame.
My initial gut was no, but I have changed it to yes because I love the competition in Barbecue Hall of Fames.
All right. Matt, you care about the KCBS Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. I congratulated Mr. Butcher Barbecue this weekend.
Right. Do I care about the KCBS Hall of Fame? Yeah, of course I care. I know all those. Now, a little weird on how everything was announced, rolled out, but the bigger list that was revealed, so there was like 2024 that was revealed, and then there was also 2025. I don't know if anybody knows this or not. We're still in 2024, but they also then released the 2025. Whatever, I'm not going to harbor on that. Everybody in the bigger list for 2025 I've had on the show at least once, except for two people. So, yeah, of course I care about KCBS Hall of Fame. I also care that it was Sterling Ball's idea, and it's something that he's not going to get credit for again. If you didn't know that, I've told you something, and put that in your pipe and smoke it. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You know exactly when the American Royal is taking place this year.
No, I never do. The hell? That shit just pops up on me all the time. I'm like, what are they? Oh, it's the freaking Royal.
You're the best. Matt, you know exactly when the American Royal is taking place this year.
I had better. 100% yes.
Oh, sounds like you're going. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no. You know exactly when the American Royal is taking place this year.
Yes, I do.
John?
Yes, I do.
Me? Nope. 100% yes or 100% no. Matt? You know... sorry, I'm going to reread. You expect a scoring issue at the American Royal this year, yes or no?
No.
Doug?
Yes, I do.
Yikes. John, 100% yes or 100% no. You expect a scoring issue at the American Royal this year.
Is Rod Gray still in charge? Oh, never mind. Yes, I do.
Rusty, you think there will be a scoring issue at the Royal this year?
I do not think that there will be, no.
Rusty, I'm going to agree with you. I do not think that there will be a scoring issue. Yes, I do not think there is going to be a scoring issue. I had to argue with myself there very quickly, but I have argued myself right back out of it. Back to Dougie. 100% yes or 100% no, Doug. You care about the barbecue museum that is going to be built in Kansas City.
I even read about it. No.
John?
No, I don't care about it. The museum, yes. The brick and mortar, no. It's like too old school.
What does that mean, John? You care about the museum, but you don't care about the brick and mortar. Isn't that one and the same
It's
thing?
like 2024. Do you need a building? I mean, it's like
It's a museum, John.
No, it's like when's the last time you've been to a museum, if ever? You're not a museum person, are you? I mean,
how dare you? I was just at the Museum of Natural History 2 weeks ago. I go to the Cleveland Art Museum all the time.
You had to go.
Oh, I'm an appreciator of finer things in life. I have a Volkswagen, John, if you didn't know.
Oh, I didn't know you had a Volkswagen.
Tiguan, by the way. 4-wheel drive.
No, it's like nobody's going to any barbecue museum, brick and mortar. It's that ship sailed. We're beyond that.
All right. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You care about the barbecue museum that is going to be built in Kansas City.
Yeah, man, that's going to be cool. I'm going to go
Mr.
as soon as I can.
Positivity. All right.
I love it.
Matt, you care about the museum?
Sure. 100% yes. Fine.
I mean,
as he shakes his head, no.
That is, yeah. Yes, I love it.
It's hard to do. Yes.
I know. I'm going to say yes for now. I will probably go out to check out that museum at some point. I'm not going to commit to any date or time. John, don't laugh. I'm being serious. So we'll leave it there.
Dude, I'm going to pay for your flight when you go.
John,
book it.
Wait, how about this? Impromptu, John only question, 100% yes or 100% no. There's a better chance of me going to the museum than there is of me going to the Browns game in December with Matt this year.
100% yes, there's a better chance.
You're damn right. It's going to be cold in December.
I'll still buy your ticket. Just let me know.
Or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right. Yeah, I should have. I didn't even know that the inductions were this past weekend. What an idiot I am. I was right there. God damn it. I went to the Guardians game instead. I was like, why is it so crowded over here? Oh, it's the inductions. And I was like, ugh. Drove right past it again. Anyway. Are we with John now? Let's go, John. 100% yes or 100% no. You knew about the brand Tribal Fire Grills before tonight.
Embarrassingly, no, I did not.
No embarrassment. Rusty?
Yeah, I've known about them for a long time and wanted one very badly for that amount of time.
Do you have a time on that?
I think on the Pitmasters thing, we ended like 2.5 years ago, I believe.
Right in that
so
time
yeah,
frame.
about that time. Yeah.
All right. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. You knew about the brand Tribal Fire Grills before the show tonight.
100% yes.
You ever cooked on one?
Unfortunately not.
No. All right. Doug, you've heard about Tribal Fire Grills before tonight.
No, I had not.
I had. So 3 of the 5 of us had heard about them before tonight. They'd fallen off my radar a little bit till I was pinged a couple weeks ago, got them back on. And I was heartened to hear that he's done some type of, it sounds like air intake on the bowl part, because when I had that piece of shit art flame in my backyard, it was just an enclosed cast bowl. So there was really no way to get air unless it was sucking in through the opening at the top. It was a smoke machine. The thing was a boat anchor at best. Hated that piece of shit. Gave it away for $6 to some guy in Cincinnati who came and got it years later. I'm not angry about it. 100% yes or 100% no, Matt. You knew about Based Bae on social media before tonight.
Snowball's chance now. 100% no.
Yeah. Doug, Based Bae.
Yeah, I had heard of her, yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Perv. John, 100% yes or 100% no. You knew about Based Bae on social media before tonight.
No, never heard of her.
I got to say, I don't know what Rusty's answer is going to be. We'll get to him here in a second. But I got to say, of all the people that have answered so far, John, I figured you'd be a shoo-in because you've been like all around the Instagram. You garner millions and millions of views. Like people think I'm joking about that, but you literally generate millions and millions of views individually on those videos. I'm surprised somehow she didn't boomerang onto your feed somehow.
Never, not once, ever.
Wow. All right. Rusty, you have had visibility on Based Bae before tonight.
It sounds like you're having a stroke when you say that. No, I have not. I don't know who that is.
Before tonight or before I was made so I have to go on a different level, right? So I have to know, did I know about her before I was pitched? No, I did not. So we're going to break right here because I don't want to go over. Refresh your libations and get your hot takes ready, although we still have a number of questions to get through here this evening. We're talking with the Embedded Correspondents. If you're just tuning in. Just reading some chat here. I apologize for going dark. All right, Big Papa Smokers is here. Are you ready to score that perfect 180 on chicken or ribs or pork or brisket or all of them? What are you doing, John? Big Papa Smokers has you covered with the best rubs, sauces, injections in the biz. For a limited time, use promo code BBQ Central. Get 10% off all Big Papa Smokers products. That's right, 10% off secret ingredients that championship teams swear by and win with weekend in and weekend out. Don't miss out on the incredible offer. Whether you're aiming for your next GC at the next barbecue contest, or if you're just looking to take your barbecue and grilled foods to the next level of awesome, remember, your food just got better. You're using Big Papa Smokers. Offer valid now through October 31st, so you got about a week left to save 10% off on all of the Big Papa Smokers products. Once again, the website, bigpapasmokers.com, and the promo code BBQ Central to save 10%. And then we got a brand new promotion starting in November, so stay tuned for that. We'll be back with more Embedded Correspondents right after this.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Craig Rimpey.
All right, welcome back to this portion of the show being brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars. Step into the world of McAuliffe Cigars, where each blend is a chapter in a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. The portfolio is a symphony of flavors, each note carefully composed to create an unforgettable Nicaraguan smoking experience. Gang, I hate to say it, it was black for the better part of a year. My new favorite cigar by McAuliffe is the McAuliffe Red, and it's starting to get not close. And I don't have any more samples. I'm keeping the rest for me because I'm a bitch. But you can find McAuliffe Cigars by visiting McAuliffeCigars.com and then use the locator to find a retailer nearest you. I'm just kidding, by the way. If you want a sample, just email me and let me know, like Derek Walls did. Derek, I'll get some samples out to you over the course of the week or maybe next week. We'll see how that goes. Where did we leave off? All right, I got my place here. Before we get to that, I just wanted to show this. Does the guy next to Rusty convert his restroom to an office? That's funny. I don't think so. I think Matt just has an office. Matt, you're not in a restroom, right?
No, I'm in a laundry room, if it matters.
All right, laundry room. Got the schedule on the wall there and a number of other artifacts, so very good. All right, let's go to, was it Rusty that we're picking up with here? Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You were surprised to hear that the smoking guitar player Fred Bernardo is a certified sporting clays shooting instructor.
No, I wasn't. Yeah. Yes, I was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Matt, surprised?
Very, 100% yes.
Doug, you were surprised to hear that the smoking guitar player Fred Bernardo is a certified sporting clays shooting instructor.
Absolutely. I was very surprised.
John?
Yes, and it even endeared him to me even more.
Are you a shooting clays partaker, John?
I dabble in flying targets, yes.
Yes. I was so surprised last week when he mentioned it, and then I was so happy because, as Doug has mentioned to me a few times over the last week, he would watch Steve Ray's show, and it seemed like Steve would have guests on to do some BS conversation up front and then go, hey, by the way, I'm going to be at a competition this coming weekend, and he's got Darren Worth on, or he's got Dave Bosk on. What do you think I should be doing for chicken here? Or how should I be doing my ribs? And it was fortuitous last week for Fred to mention that because the next day I was going out to try my hand at sporting clays for the very first time. And as luck would have it, I hit 17 out of 48, so not too bad for me. Same as my boss, who has been shooting sporting clays before, and he's a hunter. So I don't know if that speaks well of how good a shot my boss is, but I think I was pretty good for the first time out, nevertheless. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. You missed the seemingly endless content that Smoke Slam was generating last year about their event.
100% yes.
Doug?
No, not at all.
John, you missed the seemingly endless content that Smoke Slam was generating last year about their event.
Surprisingly, no, I don't miss it, and I missed it back then. I totally missed it, period, and don't miss it.
You missed it not aware of it, you mean?
Correct. I wasn't even aware they did a shit ton of it because I never saw any of it. Where have I been? Like,
I don't
what kind of
know.
cave
Not
drive
listening
have
to the show. I covered it for like 5 straight fucking months.
Hell,
Where are you at?
I mean, I'm thinking outside the show, social media.
It's 10
stuff,
years
whatever.
from now when you go back and start pulling those best ofs.
Okay, great.
Yeah, there you go. Rusty, you missed the seemingly endless content that Smokeslam was generating last year about their event.
No, not even a little bit. No.
As somebody who was on engagement farming and team content, hell yes, I miss it. Wow. It just seemed like every week they were dropping some nugget for me to nibble on and give a hot take on, or how they were kind of trying to kick Memphis and May in the balls, or look what we've done. It was, we got this much money and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was seemingly endless content that I certainly appreciate. Back to Dougie. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no. You knew about the E. coli breakout that is being linked to McDonald's quarter pounders with cheese. Rusty, shut your ears. Yes or no?
I first thought it was QP, the man, and like, no, it's not. It's yes, I am, because I read the news alert tonight that 39 people in San Antonio got sick.
John, you knew about the E. coli breakout that is being linked to QPC.
Did not at all. Still trying to catch up with all the wisteria outbreaks these days.
Right. Rusty, you are aware of the E. coli outbreak at your favorite fast food restaurant, McDonald's.
I do, and that's why I eat a chicken Big Mac.
Smart. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. You knew about the E. coli outbreak that is being linked to the McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese Sandos.
100% no.
I was aware. Oops. Yep. Just hours before we got on, though. I saw it at least 3 times in a Google alert, and somebody else sent it to me. Oh, Steve Ray sent it to me before we got on there. What? Go ahead, Doug.
Rusty, if you knew there was an outbreak, why in the hell would you even go there?
He told you why.
And eat
he had the
anything.
chicken.
Listen,
eat anything.
You go to exit 112 off Fillmore, and you tell me what you do, Doug.
That's right. I mean, I don't even know what that means, but I'm on Rusty's train 100%. You go to Fillmore Street, Doug, and whatever Rusty says, do that.
Taco joint and have me a taco.
Yeah. Look, let me say something, by the way. It has nothing to do with anything. Am I wrong at some point did McDonald's own Chipotle, or did they have some kind of financial stake in that at any point in any of its life at any point? Matt, yes. Can you confirm that, or are you just agreeing with me because you like to agree with me?
Both, but yes, they did have a they were connected.
So here's what I don't understand. I've mentioned it before. A coli outbreak at McDonald's aside on QPC. How the fuck is Chipotle still open? Through the nation, this place has generated more food sickness than I have ever seen. The lettuce is contaminated. The guacamole is contaminated. Everything is contaminated. It's shut down for days. And on the 5th day, there's a line to get into it. How can that be? Chi-Chi's was put out of business nationally because they had some type of lettuce outbreak or contamination. It put them out of business. And Chipotle is the Teflon Don of fast casual restaurants because they can have outbreak. The one in Willoughby has had 10 outbreaks over my lifetime since I've been here. That thing routinely is turning the till at breakneck speed. How is this possible that this restaurant chain can be not only open and functioning, but still revered by snot-nosed punks who think that it's a better option than most of the other stuff? Anyway, 100% yes or 100% no, John. You own a standalone pizza oven.
100% no.
Aggressive. Rusty.
I do. I own an Uni.
What model Uni, Rusty, do you own?
The old ass one, the propane one.
Oh,
like
well,
one of the very first ones.
The real old ass one was only pellet in the back.
Then
so
I
the propane
own
one
the
came out
second
later.
oldest.
Yeah, all right, very good. Matt, you own a pellet? You own a standalone pizza oven?
100% not anymore.
What?
No. No.
Doug, standalone pizza oven.
No, I do not.
I do not own a standalone pizza. I think I'm on the verge. Now, I'm serious when I say this. I think I'm on the verge of spending my own money and buying a pizza oven. I think I want to get into that. I have the Green Mountain Grill insert. I don't count that as a standalone pizza oven because it's an insert. But I think I like it enough, and we do it enough, that I want to have a potentially better cooking implement for my pizzas. And I was looking at some of the Gosney ones, not the Dome, but there was some other one that I saw Frampton use at the last Grill Fest that I was pretty impressed by. He was turning out really good pizzas. He complimented it quite a bit. I might have to consult with the Pizziolis. But I'm pretty interested in thinking that I might buy one in springtime because I'm not going to cook it outside in the winter. I can tell you that. You know that, Matt. Did we go to you, Matt? 100% yes or 100% no? You own a standalone flat top griddle.
100% yes.
Doug, standalone griddle.
I do, and it's fun.
Flat rock?
Yeah.
Yeah. John, 100% yes or 100% no? You own a standalone flat top.
Carrying back to my earlier segment, fuck no, fuck never, fuck off, fuck you, no.
Wow,
Great. I don't give a fuck.
Right. Rusty, you own a standalone flat top.
Yeah, I do. I own two, actually.
A little vague there, but two. Good. Can I say, yeah, I mean, I have one. I don't own it because I didn't pay for it. Blackstone sent it to me for free, but I have one, and I use it quite a bit. Big fan. Last one. Oh, shit. Well, I got bad news. My last question is the YouTube poll question of the week, and we answered it. Hey, we all can't be winners every time out, all right, guys? I was wondering where that went. I was like, that's got to be a great question. It was so great I used it twice. What an idiot. I have a few moments here, so before we get into promotion, this one has been standing around on the topics list. And I wanted to ask first both Matt and Rusty, and we'll go with Rusty first and then Matt, about their however detailed thoughts they want to get on the closing of Joe's barbecue truck. So I don't know if you got to listen to those shows or not, but if you did, what would you have suggested to him if he would have called you for counsel in the beginning, middle, or end of his adventure, Rusty?
Well, when you're doing this kind of business, when you're doing business on your own and you're going into your, and you're doing something as an entrepreneur, especially the restaurant business, you have to burn the boats and storm the island. There cannot be anything for you to go back to, or you probably will. And he had several golden boats waiting for him that he could not destroy. And I think that's what does it to anyone. You think to yourself, well, if I don't do this, what can I do? And if there's options, then you're going to go do it. Passion can only get you so far. I don't doubt he has passion. I don't doubt that he can do it. I don't doubt he could do it now. It's a fun thing to get into when you're good at it and you can make money doing it and you could be famous. And then reality sets in and it's a business and you have to run it. And it's difficult and it's costly and it's night and day. And it's you take it home with you and it starts creeping into your personal life and all those things. And if you can't, like I said, burn the boats and storm the island and do what it takes to get in it and dig in and get going, you're not going to succeed because you won't do what you need to do to get to the point where you need to be. It just won't happen.
What golden boats do you think he had waiting for him? Like the YouTube stuff or what?
Yeah, YouTube. I mean, if I remember right, he had a pretty decent job. And he had the YouTube thing. Yeah. And so there's options for him to go back to, and I'm not saying that I don't have options, but I don't have options in my brain. I can't. I got to see this through. And there's a point where the going gets tough, and you got to keep going through it. And it just depends. It always gets tough, and it constantly gets tough. And some people just tap out at a certain point. And that's what I would say is just try to keep going, because it gets better as you get going and get more. And it's funny because people think that in 3 years you're going to be successful, or you should be. And in the reality is 2-3 years in are the hardest parts. It's the hardest time to do it, because now you have to maintain what you built. Now you have to go back and fix what you forgot. Now you have to build and get bigger, and you don't know how to do it. And you're going out on something you have no clue what you're doing. You have to build a brand. You have to build a business. You have to take care of the people that have under you. You have to control this gargantuan ship, and you're by yourself running around, mopping the deck, setting the sail, you name it, you got to do all of it. And now you're trying to delegate, get that going, build that ship up. And that's not a lot of people have that kind of experience, and not a lot of people know how to do that. And that's when the shit gets real hard.
Matt,
and once you get that dialed in,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Rusty.
No, I mean, that's it. It's really just, it's a beast, man. It's a freaking bear. And, that's why, speaking of the bear, you watch that TV show and people go, oh my man, that is exactly how it is. It is exactly that. The most stressed out you get watching that show is as stressed out, if not more, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And it's hard. It is very literally the hardest business in the world to maintain and run. And you either do it or you don't. You burn the boats, you storm the island, or you don't. And that's how it goes.
Matt, you have any additional takes?
Yeah, just a couple. I would have, I've called Rusty in early stages and picked his brain. And I'm just the type of person to where, I'm not saying he didn't do this, but I'm never afraid to ask the question. I'm never afraid to seek counsel or ask other people, because I know what I know and I know what I don't know. It's an easy out to fall back on something like Rusty was saying. If there's a plan B, it's even tougher to stay committed and just think completely outside the box of what will it take to make this happen? What can I do? Who can I leverage? What can I, beg, plead, borrow? And if you're in it, you're in it. And if you're not, coming from somebody who has had thoughts of not being in it, I'm in it. So, it's unfortunate, but nonetheless, if it makes him happy at the end of the day, because let's also be honest, he's a person in life. If he is happier, his family is happier without it, then, hey, he made the right decision for his family, for himself. But I won't be the judge or jury of that.
John or Doug, you have anything to add to any of that, or we can go to a different question? No? All right. Sandwich that you ate on the regular as a kid that was weird. Doug.
I had to kind of think back, but I was thinking of that tonight, and I was like, man, I need to have this sandwich again. I don't know if it's that weird or not. It was a plain white bread. Of course, I didn't eat the crust. Peanut butter, honey, pickles, and Lay's potato chips.
Wow.
Is that weird, or is that not weird?
The pickles to me made it weird.
The pickles? What about the Lay's potato chips for a little crunch?
I like potato chips on most sandwiches.
Yeah.
I like the textural component. So does Bobby Flay, by the way. We're akin in that way. The pickles made it weird for me. Did the pickles tie it together in some way?
No, I just like the bite of acid. When you get the acid and the sweet, and it just had everything. Wow. It had crunch. It was good. But my parents didn't cook much when I grew up, which I that's why I never cooked much before barbecue.
John, what's the weirdest sandwich that you ate as a kid on the regular?
I never ate a weird sandwich, and I'm just more curious why Doug had to have the crust cut off like some kind of
Have
French
you met
fucking
Doug, John?
aristocrat. Like, what the fuck? It's like, what was weird? My growing up was bologna, American slices, peanut butter and jelly. If those are weird, then yeah, I am. Later in life, I did eat peanut butter and pickles and things like that. But growing up, no, I would say I'm pretty normal.
Rusty, any weird sandwiches as a kid?
It was weird at the time, but when we did burgers, we'd put peanut butter on it. It's kind of a thing now, but that's what we did back then. Then other than that, no, I know. I kept the crust on too, and I also don't drink with my pinky up, Doug.
Ruizing. Matt, weird sandwiches as a kid.
Surprised nobody said this, but we ate Spam sandwiches, kind of fried in a skillet, little mayonnaise.
Dude, that's
and,
not weird.
down
That's
in the garlic.
normal.
That's my version of weird, I guess.
Nobody else was eating that around you, Matt?
It's called being poor, Matt. We all did
It could have been that too. But no, not outspokenly about it. No.
So this was a weird, I mean, not weird exotic, but it was weird how it was constructed. And I learned it over at my neighbor's house when we lived in Saratoga. White bread, and they want, you take out 2 pieces of American cheese right on top of the white bread. They go into the oven under the broiler. And then as the cheese starts to just begin to melt, you pull the rack back out, and then you hit each side of cheese with oregano, dried oregano, back into the oven to get the cheese fully melted. And then it comes out in a not toast, but not pliable white bread type of texture, and the American cheese and the dried oregano just kind of went all together. And I remember seeing that the first time and tasting it and thinking that was pretty good, and that looked weird to make. And then we did it at my house, and I ate it all the way even through high school. So there's not even a name for it other than the white bread cheese and a dried oregano sandwich. It wasn't even really a sandwich because you ate both sides individually, but it was always 2 pieces. So I guess you could make one if you wanted to, but it was always 2 for me. Promotion time. Everybody loves promotion time. Doug, what are you up to over the next 30 days?
Your favorite guest co-host struck again last week with the baseball and barbecue. We interviewed Mark Anderson of the Grill Dads, and I never really had
Mark. He's been on the show a couple times.
Yeah, but he has some really chops when it comes to cooking, and a passion, which I really, really liked. I for some reason, as they, the village idiots, or as they say, or I didn't think you would have such chops. I will be in Huntington Beach in 2 weeks, cooking at a wine festival, so I'm looking forward to that.
Did you ask him how the Grill Dads podcast is going? Oh wait, John, promoting.
I'm going to take a rare opportunity to promote my Amazon store. All the money I make on my Amazon store goes to charitable causes. Doesn't cost you anything to use the store. You can buy anything you want. Doesn't have to be in my store. Just go to amazon.com/shop/JS00. Start your search from there. I'll get a small commission. All money I make from Amazon goes to charity. So I invite you to shop my Amazon store. Get whatever you want. Cost you nothing. Thank you.
All right, shop at John's Amazon store. Rusty, what are we promoting for the next 30 days?
I'll be on the Right on Cue podcast, which seems to be the first 2 Mondays of every month.
That's not the Heath Riles one, right?
No, sir. That is not. That is the Logan Chestnut one.
Oh, you're the co-host of that show.
Yes, sir.
And
I am.
Matt's the executive producer.
Yeah, and he's also a host too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 hosts.
I don't know, Matt. We can move on to that one. Also, I might have a food truck podcast too. I might. We'll see. Who knows? It'll be fun.
All right. Well, let's drill into that just for 3 or 4 more seconds. When was the last time you released a new episode of that podcast, Rusty?
It's funny. I wouldn't be able to answer that question, but randomly I saw it today. It was in May.
Okay, so you do not have a food truck podcast. Matt, what are we promoting tonight?
The Right on Cue podcast, great episode coming up next Monday night. We will also be at the American Royal on Pitt Road with the Good Charcoal. Come out there, say hello. We'll have the CEO and co-founder there, as well as this guy.
Doug? This guy? Oh, you?
Yeah,
You're
this
going to
guy.
be there. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Got
no,
it.
I'm not going to be there. No,
sorry,
I am not
got
going to
it.
be there.
All
No.
right. And now, Matt,
That guy is
you're
gonna
a
be there.
co-host, so it's a tri-hosted show?
There are several individuals who could be a co-host.
Wow.
Several.
Wow.
Like a revolver. Yeah.
Is it like
Like
the
a WWE match.
Would you say it's like having 2 starting quarterbacks on an NFL team?
I would call it more the wild.
Does anybody not know that saying? If you have 2 starting quarterbacks on an NFL team, do you really have one? I mean, what? Guys, help me, a tough crowd tonight. All right. There they are. Doug Scheiding from Texas, longest running embedded correspondent and firm first host of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast. John Solberg, the executive producer of the Best Moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less from Michigan. There's Rusty Monson from the great city of Utah and the Salt City Barbecue Food Trailer. And there's Matt Osmond from Tennessee. Okay, all right, just relax. Just ran over and my automated stuff caught me off guard. Matt Osmond, owner of Blinky's Offset Barbecue Food Trailer and co-host of other podcasts and executive producers of other stuff as well. And a guy who sends me literally 578,000 Instagram videos every day. But don't worry, you'll get the hint. So, appreciate everybody coming in tonight, giving you the Assurity questions. And believe it or not, it will only be a month's time before we are back in November. And we'll see everybody then. Thank you, gents. The Embedded Correspondents. Right there. Doug, John, Rusty, and Matt. Now I have to fix all this. Get rid of that. Start this. You know what? We're already at the top of the hour. Let's remove that. And we'll just go ahead and leave. A final look at the poll question of the week. It did creep back a little bit. Have you tried McDonald's Chicken Big Mac? 81% of you are saying no. It was better than 86. I think it got to 89% at some point during the 2-hour show. Weird. All the way back in the first hour, we had Aaron Norris, Tribal Fire Grill. TribalFireGrill.com, the website. Also, Game Changer Smoker. Check those out. We also talked with Lindsay DeAguila. Plant-based. Animal-based Bae. You can find her on Instagram and all the other social medias. Animal-based Bae at the handle at Animal-based Bae. Second hour, Embedded Correspondents, going through the Assurity questions, going through the poll question of the week and all that fun stuff. Next week, I will be in Tampa on business. Maddie has a very large academic schedule, so there will not be a live show. However, there will be new content in the podcast feed on Tuesday and Wednesday. Or I might still make it Wednesday and Thursday. Either way, we'll get it done. Don't worry about that. But there will be new content, even though there won't be a live show next Tuesday. So that's what that looks like. How do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next, it won't be next week, so until 2 weeks from now, this is your program host, September 11th, 2001, I will never forget. And until 2 weeks from now, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe, saying, Shalom!
This is Doug Scheiding of Rogue Cookers, Texas Embedded Correspondent. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.